What's up guys, Rex back here again with MicroAI, going through another security tutorial. Now we've done a tutorial on Linux before and showed you how to create a profile for security. So I'm not going to show you guys how to create a profile in this video. Just know that the profile you created in the first video you can use to monitor multiple devices or use to register multiple devices. So if you want multiple devices tied to the same profile, you can just use the profile key that you used before. So in this video, we're going to show you how to run security on a Docker container, whether that's on a server or a VM, whatever it is. We make it really easy to do that. And that's what's unique about MicroAI Security, and that's what adds real value to it, is that it can be scaled up from an IoT device all the way up to a server. You know, we even have packages for Kubernetes and so on and so forth. And since you can tie multiple devices to the same profile, you can have your main server tied to one profile, and all the devices connected to that server can also be running security themselves and can be tied to the same profile and all grouped together. So you can monitor hardware that is connected to the server, that are endpoints for the server, as well as the server itself, and be able to detect any malicious attempts in minutes rather than in days. And that's going to allow you to see if there's port scanning going on one of your edge devices, or even on the server. You can see the privileges being escalated, so on and so forth. And so that's what's really, really nice about security. So to do this, you're going to go to your profile that you created. If you followed the first video on Linux, you should already have a security profile created. If not, go back to that video, create a profile for security. When I made this profile, I called it My Secure Pi because I was showing you how to run security on Linux ARM. So I realize now that the profile name maybe should have been a little bit more unique. I probably should just call it like My Secure Profile or something like that, but I'm just going to keep using it. You're going to go over here to the fourth tab, and here you'll see the binary commands for Linux, Linux ARM, and then for Windows, this downloads a Windows installer to install MicroAI Security on your Windows devices. But today we're going to do container. We're running it on Docker container. So this is going to be on a Linux VM, or if you have a Linux server and you want to open up a Docker container, you can do that as well. But come over here to the command. You're going to copy it. I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code. Here I'm SSH'd in to my Linux VM, and I'm simply going to paste the command that I copied from Launchpad, and I'm going to hit enter. And that should be it. That's literally all you have to do. So we're going to check this. We're going to come back here to Launchpad, and we're going to go to devices. Right now we have the a new device registered here, and it shows here that it was modified here on 9/15/2022, which is the date today. And so now it is training. So if we come here to apps, we come, just give it a second, we go to security and monitoring. Here you'll be able to see all your active devices. We're going to find the one with the green dot and click on it. And it should start loading in the data here. Now it's still in training mode, so the health score isn't really going to change just because it's training. But once it's done training, you'll be able to see all of these widgets populate with data. They're populating with data right now, but this is just training data, so it's not real-time data. But I'll explain each one here. So for device status on, we obviously have it running. This is the alarms, how many alarms have been generated. This is the CPU usage, network upload, network download. Our security health score is at 100 right now because it's training, so it's not detecting any abnormal behavior at the moment. All of the behavior it's reading right now should be normal behavior. Now I'm only training this container for about 5 minutes, so that's probably not 10 times greater than the cycle period of the container. So once it's done training, I'll probably see a lot of alerts pop up, just because there may be some abnormal data that wasn't included in the 5 minutes. But what's great about this is that the AI is going to continually learn as well. So if those same alerts keep popping up day after day after day, the health score won't change as much. You won't get as many alerts because it's going to recognize that that is normal behavior. But let's continue. So here on the left, we actually have graphs of the CPU usage percentage, RAM usage percentage, and then we have a graph here showing upload and download speed. Here is 2 different colors. Right here, the behavior matrix. Now this is really interesting. Remember that we have data channels that are being monitored. And if you use asset performance monitoring, so our other product that we have, our other package, you have to initialize the channels that you want to monitor. With security, we keep those channels private, mainly to increase the security of the package. But the behavior matrix here shows the channels. Now they're just called like C1, C2, all the way up to C30, 31. But we'll show if there's any abnormal behavior on these channels. They'll light up. These bars here will actually light up a light blue, and you'll be able to click on it and see which channel was specifically affected and when. Here in the middle we have our health score, and then here we have our 2 major data groups. So these are the channels. So we have 31 channels. They're kind of grouped together in these 2 graphs here with the blue lines where we have our bounds. So this is the kind of the hardware channels that we're monitoring, so we call it primary device channels. And then here's the network channel, so parts of the device that are connected directly to the network. And so we monitor these and show the graph over time and the calculated bounds of all of those. Here you see this map here. If you've put in your latitude and longitude, it will show your device here on the world map. And then underneath this is where the alarm will generate. So if someone does a port scan, you'll see an alarm generate saying, hey, your device received X amount of packets from IP address 192xx, whatever it is, and then it'll give a suggestion. It'll say possible port scanning. So our AI is able to predict what kind of malicious behavior is happening on the device. But right now, this device is still in training mode, so I'm not going to keep you guys here for any longer. But this is where you'll see all your data on the dashboard. And once the device is done training, I may actually get a drop in health score just because the device didn't train for very long. But you would be able to monitor all this here directly from the dashboard. But that's pretty much it for Docker Container. Thank you guys so much, and we look forward to seeing you in our future videos.